As long as you show me how, I'll be there every time you're down. It's okay, know you're safe and sound. Let's go waste our time, baby, let's have fun. How you shine so bright when the lights ain't on. But as long as you show me how, I'll be there every time you're down. It's okay, know you're safe and sound. Let's go waste our time, baby, let's have fun. How you shine so bright when the lights ain't on.
Good morning, Chad. How's it going? How are you doing? I'm kidding. Hello, Chad. How are you doing today? Hello, everybody. Hello, Harimo. Bumblebees, how's it going? Gallifus, Noivern, welcome everybody. How are you? GeoGamer, hello. Doing well, how about you? I'm doing pretty good. Surprisingly enough, I'm actually doing pretty. Hello, Maddie. How's it going? How are you doing today? Wait, give me a second, chat. I wanted to check something. Because I accidentally fucked up something like 2 days ago. Okay, I figured I could. Okay. Okay. Got it. I gotta do that after stream though. Okay, I did fuck up something, chat, but hey. We're chilling. It's all good. My goodness, hello everybody. I had not been paying attention to chat. Give me a second. Yeah, I definitely do need to I do need to do that, like today. Okay, I'll do that after stream. Has the GDR awards gone out yet? No, it starts in February. It should be still a couple days before we get to it. You think of a cool love-themed level you'll see him? Yeah, I can think of one. I can think of, Pastel Pulse F by Arcalea. What a banger love-themed level. What was the name of the JF level? We played it on stream. They have very simple names. Was it because I love there? Yeah, it was because of Lever. I was right. I was right. I was right. Here we go. Cute level by JF. Recommend. Do I know about Cupid? Yes, I do know about Cupid. Okay, let's go back to and actually get started on the Power Gauntlet. So today we have Power Gauntlet, new gauntlet that just came out last night. I have kind of seen a little bit of it, but I haven't played any of it. So we're gonna be going through it and seeing if it's a good gauntlet. As per usual with every gauntlet here. I love the custom player because the hitboxes are so janky. This one was clearly made in 2.2. Surely. That was fun. You know what? That was actually pretty fun. That was very side readable. That was really entertaining. Aside from the jank of the custom hitboxes, not a bad one. This might not take too long, chat. Seeing how these are on the easier side. And we are at the woofer level. Never mind, this will take 5 years. Well, I do think this mechanic is neat. It is very weird to play. Okay. Slow level. Yes, it is slow, so far at least. Subwoofer really... Like, looking at this and looking at his levels now, at least I can say the one thing he has improved upon in terms of, like, his gameplay is actually the composition of stuff. Now, there is less things hiding the gameplay in the foreground than in this level. So, hey, I can give him that. He's at least improved there. But the gimmicky gameplay that doesn't actually flow too well still happening. Yeah, at least the part wasn't too bad. There we go. Oh god, I was scared that this was gonna take too long. I don't know how to feel about this level. I haven't never played this level before, and I'm not gonna lie, the song and the level do not work very well together. Like, the song feels so intense and so grand, and the level feels like very dull. Am I crazy for saying this, chat? the song feels like so much is happening, and then in the level, there's like nothing happening. I will say I do like the visual aesthetic that is in this level. It's very pleasing. But I definitely feel like this should be so much more intense and like so much more should be happening. And I don't mean like in terms of like crazy effects or anything, just in terms of like intensity. Like the designs you have are fine, just like make it feel more intense, make it feel like stuff is actually happening. Yep, there's a new Gauntlet logo. Give me a second, Chad. Okay. Sorry, Chad, something really big came up, like literally as I started this stream, which is really unfortunate. And I do need to get that sorted out, but so stream might actually end up being a little bit shorter than I expected, but for so far, let's just keep going with the Gauntlet. Digital Glitch by Danger Cat. I think the effects here are really neat. Oh, okay, I was not expecting that transition. Oh. I was not expecting that block to move. Okay. Mostly because there was a ceiling. Well, not a ceiling, but there were spikes above me, so I was expecting like, oh, you don't jump too much. Oh god, okay. Okay, I might need to practice this one. Okay, this is not too bad. Never mind. I kind of fuck with this song. I wish there was more going on with the song, but I kind of fuck with the main melody. Like the pattern, I guess, not the actual sounds chosen for it. Oh, you're a ball there. Okay, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Honestly, this feels kind of like a big jump in difficulty compared to the last level. Am I crazy, chat? Or at least, like, starting the level with a 4-star, and now we're, like, at what, like, an 8, 9 stars? Like, this feels like it should be, like, the final level, and not, like, the middle level. In terms of, like, progression and difficulty, I guess. Like, usually he likes to keep them very similar in difficulty. Like, this level, it has the composition and visual flair of a demon, but there's no, like, timings. Everything's really simple. Like, the only reason this isn't a demon is because everything is, like, actually really easy jumps. But, like, everything about this level screams that it was, like, made to kind of be a demon. Or potentially be a demon. I also still don't understand what the power is supposed to mean. Because I thought I was... Like, every level has been very different from each other. And I've been kind of trying to understand what the theme or the motif behind it is. Maybe it's like cyber stuff, I guess, like a computer stuff maybe. But the subwoofer level would then be very out of place, I think. Or like energy, I guess. Maybe that's it. Then the first level doesn't really belong. I like that music sync there. Okay. Anybody want to fix the cursor on screen? No, it's always been there. My cursor on screen has always shown up, mostly because when I'm building. It's always been how it is. Yeah, my cursor has always been on screen. Especially when I'm building, I use it all the time to like point out stuff to people. In chat. Not a fandom. Apologies. Do you just dislike it when playing? Because like for building, it's like crucial. For building, it's like absolutely crucial. You need it for building, you know. But is there maybe an option to switch it? Because I could switch it. I don't mind for playing. It always shows up here. Hold up. Let's go and see. Let's go and see. Options. Lock cursor in game? No. Wait. Locks and hides cursor during gameplay. Alright, let's see. I assume that's it. Style wave. Oh, I actually really like this level. It's always been there, though. I was so happy to see that when this level released. I've been looking forward to having this level released. I didn't talk about it too much when it released, but I definitely wanted to do a first impressions on it. But I just then forgot. I still do need, by the way, chat, you gotta remind me. I still owe you guys the body pillow stream. I've been delaying it because it just has, I've been wanting to focus on Voyager. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to draw. So I do owe you all that. But this was so fun. Oh, I held in too long. Yeah, so far, Cyan, it's been a little bit weird seeing like the whole power vibe because I don't see what the power is about. You just like, okay, the first level and then the third one and this one have been very energetic. They have a lot of energy to them, you know. They have a big vibe about like, you know, the intensity. And then every level, also aside from the first one, I guess, has this sort of like factory or like digital world, like mechanical stuff, like computer, like anything regarding to all of that theming. But the first one doesn't really have that. But it has the like the vibe of like, hey, it's like hype, you know, it's energetic in terms of like the gameplay and visuals. But then the subwoofer level doesn't have that. So it's like there's always like there's a general idea that I think Raptop wanted, but there's one of the levels that like just doesn't work with that general idea. And it makes it feel a little bit less cohesive than I think it should have been. Oh, I jumped. What the hell? I jumped. I jumped! No. I will say though, I think the one thing that I kind of wish, like the Martin here, for example, has like the round edges and then the square edges in some of the parts, and I kind of wish that sometimes you like leaned only into one instead of mixing both of them. Like in here, I actually kind of would have preferred if it was either only round or square edges. The mix of both kind of throws me off a little bit. I don't hate it, I just think it's not like I don't think it was a move. Oh, no, too early. Yeah, let me actually focus up. I'm wasting too much time on this. Not wasting, because well, it's really fun, so I'm enjoying myself. Oop. Martin, yes indeed. Okay. Hitting that orb, if you like try to click to the rhythm of the song, actually like doesn't work. You do need to spam it there. Just actually clicking to the beat of the song is actually not doesn't actually set you up correctly, which is kind of strange that that wasn't accounted for, but I'll forgive it because it is very clearly a spam part. Oh, what a shame. The geometrical dominator part strikes again. Oh, silly me. I clicked again. Okay. I do have a feeling that my mouse hasn't been exactly working the best. And I've noticed that with, like with creating, sometimes like I click on some stuff and it just doesn't register until I click again. It's been a bit upsetting. Yeah, I have seen the complaint, but I think it's a better edit fault more so than my mouse, but it could be my mouse. But I have noticed that it's been dropping some inputs too. Oh, sorry, that was just me being silly. Like right now at this ending, the curved things work so well by themselves. I think the mix of them sometimes is a bit trippy. It's so good. I love this level. Such a crazy good level. Hello, Interlix. Welcome, welcome. Just beat the gauntlet. I only got orbs and diamonds because I have all the shards already. Aw, that's so sad. Why there no icon? No clue. I don't know. Unnamed H by Rexer. Alright, let's see. Is this comatose by reply? My goodness. I kind of fuck with this solo. Oh, that was a 9-star. I yeah, I think the vibe is just like energy, electrical stuff. And I think that's just the vibe of the Gauntlet. I don't know. That was not a 9-star. No, this was actually really enjoyable though. I don't know how this is a 9-star. This just plays like a, it was like a 4-star. I guess this beginning like stuff is kind of off screen. This definitely does not play like a 9-star. Like mostly not this ship. And then like all of this is just like jumping when you see the arrow. It's very, very lenient. At worst, like I can understand this wave transition being a bit rough, but like this wave gameplay is like this wave gameplay is easier than blast processing. The ship probably messes people up. It's so easy though. Like it's basically auto. I don't know. Fun level though in the end. Enjoyed it. Honestly, aside from this one and maybe this one being a bit of a difficulty spike, this is actually pretty enjoyable. When this one just was really boring. Crazy reward incoming. Let me see. Let me peep this insane reward of the power gauntlet. Hey, I got 70 shards now. That is... I don't really know how to feel about this gauntlet. Like, it's not bad, there's nothing bad about it, but it's just kind of... eh. Like, the reward is eh. The levels are okay. Not really super cohesive theming, but it's kind of technological electric stuff, I guess, maybe. It's I like the vibe of the gauntlet. Like, this is a cool thing for the gauntlet. It's definitely like increased the quality compared to like the art compared to like these. You know, it's a cool design. Not that one, sorry, the Power Gauntlet. I was thinking about the Force Gauntlet. The Power Gauntlet also has a cool design. But aside from that, yeah, this kind of just feels like the Force Gauntlet, where it's just like there's shit happening, and you know, it's just almost, it's very inoffensive, I guess. Four-fingered hand. Yep. There are... Yep. Yeah, it's been kind of whatever when it comes to the gauntlets. I feel like lately we haven't had like a really, really good gauntlet since I think that the fantasy one was pretty good. No, it wasn't the fantasy one, it was the forest one. And I mean, I'm not saying that because of Astral, this just actually was a pretty good gauntlet. These levels were all fun. Honeydew's really good. Petal Patch is also really, really good. Lost in the Woods was just kind of there, but these two levels were really good. I know a lot of people hated the Water Gauntlet. Which is fair. I also didn't enjoy it, but I didn't hate it. I have the Inferno Gauntlet, which one was this one? Oh, and yes, this one was actually really, really fun. I didn't like Insilico's being here, but everything else was actually kind of enjoyable. I think out of all of them, the one that I hated the most was probably this one. This has to be the worst one. This, in my opinion, still the worst one. Crush, miserable level to play through. Glorious Fortress, it is just kind of okay. It is just kind of okay, gameplay-wise. Sky Tower, holy fuck. This level is so buggy and incredibly impossible to play. It is so insanely uncomfortable. Crush has peak gameplay. It has some of the worst gameplay out of all of the gauntlets, but not worse than Castlevania. This is by far the worst defender here. This is by far the worst defender. No, okay. I'm replaying through all of these. Because y'all didn't see me play through this on stream. No, actually, you might have. This was the most miserable experience I've ever had with a gauntlet. Crush's gameplay is so mind-numbing and boring as hell, it is actually offensive. I felt so bored while playing this. I have never felt more bored, and all of the gimmicks just actually aren't enjoyable to play. The most fun part of the level is this ball. I'll say that. It is by far the most fun part of this level. But Crush's gameplay is absolutely so mind-numbing. It is so, like, there's so many little things that make it such an inconvenient level to play. Like, there's so many little odd timings that just shouldn't be there. Like this transition, for example. Like, this transition asks you to hold directly up, and for a new player, or not a new player, for a player that's like not super experienced, letting go so fast and readjusting is not something that's very intuitive. That is really, really poor design. Oh, and then of course this part. If you don't see, there are indicators that show up very briefly, but they disappear. Like, you can see the indicators before you get there, but if you're not paying attention, when you actually get there, the indicators aren't there. That is such an insanely stupid design decision. Why would you make the indicators go away when you actually get close to the indicator? When the player is looking like right ahead of them, but they're not looking so ahead where they can actually see these indicators. Also, this is, I think, semi-randomized. You can get, like, I think 3 different patterns of attack, and, like, adapting to them isn't too bad, but it just doesn't feel very enjoyable to play. Out of all of things, though, I'll say that I definitely did not enjoy, yeah, Okay, this part was whatever. It was just kind of... You kind of expect here to be a dual ball because of the composition, and when you're not, it does strip you off. This robot part is really infuriating because it's really easy to mistime your jumps because of how small the hitboxes are. Crush me. There you go. On your first playthrough, obviously you won't see that, so that's fine. Like, you can just practice it. It's I don't think it's a big issue because you can just practice it. Okay. This part, it is one of the most unfun parts to play, even after you've learned it. Even after you've learned it, that part is still not enjoyable to play. Crush is a fun level, you just gotta practice? No, it just isn't. Even after practice, all the gimmicks just don't really work very well, and the level just kind of ends, like, very disappointingly. Like, I beat it really, really fast. It just was not an enjoyable experience. I'm not complaining because I spent like 5 years on this. I literally spent like maybe 100 attempts max. And it's like, it's kind of whatever. Not even. That was minus 22 from this practice run, so like 80 attempts. It wasn't a bad, it wasn't horrible in terms of like, it took me a long time. It just isn't, well, good gameplay. It isn't well designed. Like, the fact that like, there's a lot of counterintuitive gimmicks and counterintuitive decisions when it comes to designing this. It actually just shows that it's just not very well designed gameplay. It's fine, sure, but it's not well designed gameplay. Lord Fortress was kind of just okay gameplay wise. There's a couple transitions that were just kind of, I guess. Most of the gameplay was actually fairly okay. I think out of everything, though, it just kind of felt unpolished, if that makes any sense. It didn't take you a long time. It took your time. No, genuinely. Also, the fact that all of these levels are like XL is actually kind of like, okay, thank you. that was a while of my life wasted. It's not like any of these levels are good. Or they're not anything special. They're just very mediocre levels on top of that. No, wait, hold up. Wait, hold up, Subpixel. I have not talked about Still Life yet because it is by far the best level in this entire gauntlet. it is by far the only level that I actually actively enjoyed. Right, you're not supposed to be upside down there, I forgot. I am going in order, which is, you know. Still Life is actually the only good level out of this entire gauntlet. Also, this level lags for some reason. When it has like, I don't know why this lags. It doesn't look like it should lag, but I will blame it on 2.1. I did not like the way this transition plays, and I don't like the way this robot plays. I think this is by far like the most annoying part of the level to play. So you can still maintain yourself upside down there, which I think is really funny. Anyway, yeah, this level's just kind of there. I don't know. Then play Still Life again? No, Still Life is actually probably one of the most fun ones. Genuinely. Rose Fortress is kind of just okay. It's kind of just okay. And I know a lot of people love Rafer gameplay, but holy shit, this level's so buggy. Holy crap, this level is so inconsistent and buggy. Why do you people actually praise this level as if it wasn't a buggy mess? Holy crap, this level is so incredibly buggy. This part breaks like 90 times out of 10. It breaks more than it should. This part, for some reason, just breaks all the time. I have no clue how he made it, so that it breaks so much. That is stupid of me. I should have just not died there. Also, a lot of these transitions are so insanely questionable. Like, why are you hiding the transition from... oh my god. Can I please? There we go. This part also breaks from sometimes. Like that transition just sometimes breaks. Why? I have no clue. This is actually the most fun part of the level. I really like this part. This is the best part of the level. Also, that part sometimes breaks for some reason. I do remember sometimes just doing that part correctly, and I just die. This next section is kind of just whatever. I kind of wish this last section was very different. This last section is kind of just, yeah, just memorize the gameplay. You're not gonna side read this. Just go and memorize it. Just play it in practice. Which is fine. If that's what you're into, but like I don't want to memorize a like 2-minute level. That's just lame as hell. What is this bugs out? A bunch of things just don't end up working how they're supposed to work. Like you just randomly die to the gimmick that it's supposed to, like, you know, like for example in the cube that you're supposed to hold. Sometimes when you're holding, you just randomly die during the transition. Sometimes in the cube where you're supposed to like hit your head against something to like activate the triggers of the thing you're riding. For some reason, it like double jumps and then you fall off the beast randomly. Rafer did bug fix this a year ago. Oh, okay. So probably some of these bugs that I'm like talking about have been fixed. But god, when I was playing this was insanely horrible to play because of how buggy some of these parts were. So if he did bug fix it, good thing, because that is actually pretty nice of him. But this level was insanely buggy when I beat it, and yeah, this was just impossible to beat. Like at the time, you had to play around like just dying randomly. Have fun, hello Q. I'll see you later. We got to Castlevania, which is probably the... I've talked a lot about Castlevania outside of streams. This is probably my least favorite Sir Punch project, and probably one of my least favorite mega collabs that has ever released. Because I feel like this is such an insanely big disappointment of an attempt at a Metroidvania. And 99% of it comes from the gameplay and the optimization of this level. I think the optimization side of things is a little bit better now. The level doesn't lag as much, but the gameplay is still awful. I think that making a Metroidvania in GD and making it a difficulty like this, where this game does not reward you for exploration. I think Colin said it the best. Like, in one of his videos, like, years ago at this point, I'm pretty sure. Like, exploration should be something that you're excited to do. Not that you're forced to do and then end up hating every second of it. And that's Castlevania. there's like absolutely nothing enjoyable about actually playing through this and trying to explore, because you're just banging your head against the wall over and over and over again, dying for no reason. There is no reward for your exploration, and there is like only consequences from your exploration, which is dying to things you didn't expect to be there. Exactly. I think Green World does the open world, quote unquote, like Metroidvania aspects so much better, because it plays really well. It is super fluid, and sometimes even if you make a mistake in Green World, it doesn't punish you for trying to do something different. It gives you a new path to explore. It just straight up just gives you something completely new to find, which is such a beautiful thing to do in a Metroidvania. That is how you should do it. If you are trying to make your player explore, then that's great. But Castlevania doesn't do that. It doesn't reward your exploration, it punishes you for your exploration. I think Castlevania works nice in practice mode. I think in practice mode it is more bearable. But in normal mode, when you're actually supposed to beat the level, it is absolutely a painful experience. Yeah, that's it. It's just a painful experience. I genuinely think they could have not executed this. Why did I stop holding? They could have not executed this more poorly in terms of gameplay. They genuinely just couldn't have. And I'm so disappointed, because I really wanted this level to work, and I really wanted this level to like end up being good. And I forgot to get the key from the very beginning, so now I'm thinking about it, I just don't have a key. I'll need to replay the whole thing now that I'm thinking about it. Unless I think I can squeeze these out, right? I don't remember if I can I think I need to be meaning for this in order to squeeze that out. But yeah, this is just really, really painful to play. I don't remember which route I took, but I think I figured out my own route, if I remember correctly. Okay, here's the fun part. There's a key required for you to get. You need to get one key during the level in order to get through the level. Getting the keys is actually not easy. Like, it's not fun either. Like, you have to actually go out of your way to figure out some way to get a key. There's like no keys that are like just in your path naturally. You have to really go out of your way. But it's, I don't know, it's just so miserably annoying to play. Like this, for example, like you just go down here and then it's like, oh great, you encountered a new route, you know, that is really cool. And now you're like, oh, okay, that is another route. That is really cool, you know? Like, I am exploring, right? That is, like, the whole point of this, right? But then, like, you're exploring, and it's like, oh, you're just dead. You're just dead. It's like, yeah, you just gotta remember that there's a spike there. Sorry. And, like, every path you take almost immediately killing you, because, because of the lack of, like, not only, like, indicators, because indicators isn't the issue, because of the lack of visual, like, guiding, like, visually guiding the player and what they're supposed to do. It's like, it's so disappointing. Also because I know that Serpunch can game design. So, like, these should be, like, the basics of game design, you know? Like, I know that they've made levels, like, not levels before, games before, so, like, why is this one such a, I don't know, it's just such a moment of all time. Okay, I think here's the most infuriating part, is that in this level, you can go around and you can see that there is a bunch of things to collect and a bunch of things to interact with the environment. And then when you actually try and do those things, for some reason, it is actually like, it requires you to explore like every single path in order to actually get to do that one thing that is in the main path. Like, you don't actually like have an accessible way to go and get those things. The gauntlets were not made to be cakewalks. I mean, yes, I agree there. I do agree that you should practice mode everything one time. But if the practice mode of this level takes you 50 minutes, when the actual level takes 2, you know, have a good rest of your day, Danceman. I hope your classes go well. I don't know, you know. I will play Gribble after this, because I actually really love Gribble. Okay, Still Life is... I think a lot of people really dislike the monotony of this level. And that is very valid. I genuinely think that is very, very valid. Because this is a very, very monotonous and samey level. But there's something about this level that I really, really enjoy. However, I do have complaints. I will complain about something, and we'll get to that part. Because this level was really, really, really unique in my head. Or at least, like, to me, it is very, very unique in the way that it does gameplay in a very surprising way. Because it's not that the gameplay is hard. Okay, first complaint, these hitboxes are very clunky sometimes. And they're kind of annoying. For first complaint, they're just kind of annoying because they're clunky. Which is fair, yes. But I don't know, I really, really like the ideas of this level and the execution of them. My only complaint comes, well, my second biggest complaint, I guess. The first complaint is just a minor one. My only complaint about this level comes here, with the introduction of... Okay, so we have this tower that works in a 3D plane, and in concept, that's really cool. That's really fine. You have the thing spinning around, and your brain is expecting that it keeps working like that, you know? The physics of the 3D tower being rotating in 3D are great. This is really cool. But now they introduce the clouds, which are in a 2D plane that is in front of the player. They look to be in the foreground, not in the middle ground. And this is my biggest complaint about this level, is that the clouds are in the foreground. And you're interacting with them in a way that is not only unconventional because of the depth issue, but also with the gameplay because you're not expecting to interact with a 2D element in a 3D scenario. Do I think this is bad? No. I think the subversion of expectations is good. I think it's interesting. I think the idea of it is very, very good. I don't think the execution was actually done properly. Because the clouds just kind of show up, and you don't realize that you're interacting with the clouds until you actually are interacting with them. There is nothing telling you that you should be interacting with the clouds until you're actually on the clouds. And I think that subversion of expectations can be done very effectively. It just wasn't really here. And I really love this ending. I think this ending is actually so fun. I really love the indicators here, just indicating nothing, and I think it's cute. But yeah, everything else about this level is awesome. You finished the thing? Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll go look at it later. We'll talk about it more after stream, Judd. But yeah, out of everything, Still Alive is probably the only level out of this gauntlet that I actually actively enjoyed. I think everything else I was very indifferent or just not enjoyable. Like, I very, very much did not enjoy Crush. It felt very, very boring. It felt very, very painstaking, and the gimmicks just kind of didn't work. I didn't really enjoy Castlemania. For the reasons that I've said above. Sky Tower was just really buggy at the time. I'm glad that it's been fixed now, but it was just really, really buggy at the time. And Glorious Fortress was just kind of okay. I just don't really care for the level. It doesn't do anything too special in my opinion, and it's kind of just there. But aside from that, Still Life was actually really fun. Really enjoyable. It was actually a fun level to learn. Because the gimmicks were very straightforward and you could get used to them very, very fast. Anyway, Greeble time. We are gonna Greeb. For the 20th time on my streams, we're gonna be playing Greeb World, as per usual. Probably one of the most underrated levels ever made. Like, this level's just fantastic, and it's like so completely underrated. Okay, let's see where the world takes us, Chad. Let's just see where the world takes us. and now we're just on a completely different route. I love this level. I love this level so freaking much because it's literally just where will you take us today? Let's just go the top route. So good. It's like if you want to make a level that is quote-unquote multiple paths that you can just seamlessly cross between each other, then this is the way to do it. The way to make it fun is to reward your player for doing different things. Like the fact that I'm now clicking a different orb or that I'm clicking one different jump, it completely leads into a completely different thing. Like, obviously there's like main sections that you're getting through, but like this is so different to what I was experiencing before, you know? Like, this is a completely different thing. Actually, let's just go bottom path. Like, it's so goddamn unique every single time. And like, there's so many, and like, now you think, oh, well, you've done both paths, right? That's like all there is to see. No, there's like so much to see about this level. There's like actually so many things for you to be looking at. And it's so good. And it's like, why can you not have made Castlevania like this? Like, chat, this is still the same level. This is still the same level, and it keeps going. That's the thing. It just keeps going. Hello, Vikaino Jacobs. How's it going? Welcome to stream. Like, it's so good. I love this level so much. The only reason it's 8 stars is because it's a bit hard to read, but like the actual gameplay of this is like actually like a 3-star, 4 stars. There's maybe a couple inputs. It would fit very well in a strange gauntlet. I think so too. But yeah, all of that to say is, gauntlets have been very hit or miss for me. I think some gauntlets are very nice, some gauntlets are very eh. I really enjoyed the Force Gauntlet. I think Uprising Motion, very good. Propane Nightmare was kind of just okay. Expansion was really good. Metal Magic was also really good. Like, all of these levels were really good. I think the Reefer level was kind of just okay, I guess. Gameplay wise, it was good. Actually, one of his better ones. But visuals were kind of just very outdated at this point. Yeah. See, so like, it's crazy to say, but like Forest Gauntlet is actually like a really good one. And I'm not saying this because Astral isn't 24 here. It's actually really good. It's just, I think it was actually really enjoyable to play. Same with Inferno. I thought Inferno was really good too. Again, the only thing that I don't like is that In Silico was here. I think the theming is good. It's just In Silico being a final level is rough, but it's fine. Same with like with the, I think it was a Split Gauntlet. No, it was not the Split Gauntlet. It was a Discord Gauntlet. I liked this one. I thought this one was good. Afterlife is good. Radiant Glen is good. Growing Insane was okay. Snowflakes in the Fog was okay too. Double Dimension was pretty good. Yeah. This one was good. Acceptable. Growing Insane is good. Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. It's okay. I understand why Subpixel, and I like. The only reason why I don't agree is because I literally just did it on my second attempt, so it's like I very much remember doing this level like so insanely fast, and I was like, oh yeah, well. I don't like that jump. I can slightly get the less enjoyment around Serpunch's stuff, but why is Subwoofer so subject to random level hatred? Because they're not good. The community love these levels, and they're not very good. They're very... This one is just very mediocre. It's... like... Okay, you're telling me that in a Gauntlet with Afterlife, probably the best level ever made in the history of Geometry Dash, in Radiant Glen, one of Knott's best works, you're saying that Growing Insane stands out? Like, it's... how? This is literally one of the best levels ever made, and then there's Radiant Glen, which is one of Knott's best levels. Similar visually, you're actually... okay, similar quality. No, absolutely not even close. Growing Insane is such a shit level in terms of visuals. The only reason why it's okay for me is because of the gameplay. Like, in terms of visuals, it's so ass. It's actually insane. Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking here? The inconsistencies in perspective, the inconsistencies in rendering, the quality of the assets being completely random, like just using default blocks sometimes and then doing custom-made assets, the integration and the colors that some of these parts have. No, this level is not even passable. Like that's always been my issue with subwoofers, that they just are not really great at art levels, and I don't know why they don't do more design, because their design stuff is actually really enjoyable. Like Dioma is actually really good, but the community really likes their art stuff for some reason. Like, look at this. Why is the perspective just wrong? Why is the shading just completely off and completely completely the wrong shading and inconsistent every single time? Why are some assets 3D and some assets 2D while also using default blocks that are completely shaded differently from everything else? Like, what are we talking about here? I like the little bats though. Those have to be the best thing in this level. And here's the thing, I don't have anything against Subwoofer as a person. I don't hate Subwoofer as a person. It's the same thing as like with Bleed. Like, I get along with Bleed just fine. I'm gonna complain if I think the level is not good. And if it has flaws. Like, I'm gonna complain. Yeah, absolutely. If Subpixel makes a level that I think is shit, I'll very much be open about it. If anybody that I know makes a level that is shit, I'll very honest about it. Okay. Oh my god, these trees. Oh my god, these trees. Oh god. Yeah, I think that's the best part about this level, Subpixel. It plays just fine. I think the gameplay is actually the saving grace of this level. These trees are an offense to trees. Like, what are we doing here with these trees? Okay, we're getting real lazy. We're getting real lazy. No. I'd probably even say that out of every level in this Gauntlet, Growing Insane might be my least favorite one. I actually like this level a lot. I think this level is actually really underappreciated because the aesthetic is super unique. It has a lot of issues with the quality of art and the consistency of art styles, and that's fair. But I actually like the atmosphere. I like the colors. I think the integration of effects is actually really neat, and I think the ideas are also very interesting. I do wish it did more, but it's okay. I can't complain too much. This is just an okay level. Also, can we just say, even though the perspective on the benches is wrong, the parallax in the background is actually pretty okay. It's actually pretty okay. The perspective on the chairs is wrong, and I won't get and I will point it out. But the parallax is actually okay. It's pretty. I will say the gameplay of this level is, while very easy and straightforward, a little bit iffy because of how the asset integration is done. So sometimes it can be really hard to actually tell what is a hitbox and what isn't a hitbox. And I think that creates a little bit of issues with the level. I appreciate the ambition, yeah. I think like this level, for when it came out, it was really trying something different, something really special, and whether it succeeded or not will depend up to you, but I think it did a good enough of a job for where we can still look at it and be like, this still holds a, you know, it still has a special, it still has something special about it. You know, it's definitely trying something very ambitious, and whether or not you like the animations or the quality of the art, that is very valid. I'm personally not the biggest fan of the quality of the art, but I will give it the props that it deserves for what it's trying to do. And then Double Dimension. Double Dimension is a weird one because it's not a bad level. It's just kind of would generic be the right word, chat? Or would that be is it still considered offensive? You know what? Now that I think about it, we should definitely do a Gauntlet tier list. You consider generic offensive? That's fair. I don't mean it in an offensive way for this level though, because I do think it's a pretty nice level. I think that the thing that makes this level feel kind of just there for me is what it's doing are things that have been done before quite a few times, and it doesn't like explore a new aspect of them. It kind of just plays it safe, and I know that can also be offensive to a lot of people, but it's just kind of it's okay. But yeah, here, if we go to the other dimension. So the first one was kind of like this, like, candy world, and now we're like, actually just in 3D Geometry Dash. And it's like, I've seen both of these things be done before. To like different degrees. So like I don't really know. Yeah, it's Pixel Styles are the new 2.1 generic levels. Yeah, I think that's kind of the yeah. I don't know. It's just kind of okay. They exist, and they're fine. They're very safe. But yeah, like I don't know. Compared to Radiant Glen, which excuse me, but this level, in terms of how good of a level it is, definitely should have been higher up in the winners, but I understand that it wasn't because of the actual integration of the two paths not being so different. this level is very, very underappreciated by the community. This level is absolutely fantastic. Okay, I've said this before because it's not the first time I play this level on stream. This transition will never not be... Oh, I died to it right before. It's okay. That transition... I forgot about that jump. Don't yell at me, chat. That transition will never not be one of the best things Knots has ever made. That is literally such an insane transition. I will forever stand by that. I will forever stand by that being one of Knots' best transitions. Did you even try to beat an insane demon though? Wait, yeah, I've got a couple insane demons beaten, yeah. Yeah, very, very much so. I've beaten quite a couple insane demons and quite a few extreme demons too, yes. I am throwing though. I'm not, because I'm trying to read chat and, you know, also try to play at the same time. Just... Yeah, I think, well, okay, to be fair, Subpixel, there is, like, to a certain degree, obviously, what you like is very subjective. And I think that is the important part that y'all need to understand, is that you can like something and somebody else can also dislike it, and they can like something and you can dislike it. Liking something is very, very, very different because it is entirely subjective as a topic. However, when it comes to art quality, to some degree, there is a certain metric that you can use as a way to evaluate art quality. To some degree. Obviously, it is not very concrete, and it is still something that can be like called into question because of differences in intent and differences in stylistic decisions. Not this transition. It is actually so peak. It is actually so amazing. Like the fact that all of this just is so overgrown in this version of the path is so goddamn good. Like, oh my god, it's so good. God, this was so fucking good. But yeah, there's definitely some criteria that you can abide by to have a conversation about art quality and about what defines good art. Because if not, then what's the point of standards? What's the point of conversation? You know, like if you're just having a conversation about things that you like and that you dislike, you still need to understand why you like and you dislike those things, and those things obviously go in both ways, but those things also define what art is. And as an example, I think that one of the biggest things that like really appeals to like a lot of people is the consistency of that art. And that's usually why I bring up consistency as one of the major flaws that a lot of creators have, is that things are not following the same rules consistently. A creator can apply certain rules to their work and then break those rules in that same work. And that is okay. That is perfectly fine. If done intentionally, if done with a specific intent in mind, and with the idea of having that contrast of breaking the rule be a focal point of, or not a focal point, but like a divergence point from the work. Creating those contrasts often shows a change, you know, like something big changing is what usually creates those contrasts. But in a lot of subwoofers levels, those contrasts from differences in quality of art, not quality, and consistency of art, don't come from a place of intent. They come from a place of lack of knowledge and misunderstanding of art. And maybe even laziness, but I don't feel comfortable enough with my knowledge of subwoofer to say that. Most of the contrasts I've seen in famous levels, although this is grassy happy land, just kidding, it's edgy. I feel like that's being very reductive of like a lot of levels that actually pull out sharp contrasts. Because there are a couple that actually really do that. And that I think do it fairly well. But of course, it's, you know, sometimes of course, when it comes to that, it is still opinionated. Anyway, growing into probably the worst level in here. Anyway, all of that to say is that it's not direct hate to subwoofer. I'm not a subwoofer hater in terms of who he is as a person. He seems like a chill guy. I really like Dioma, and I really like some of his older levels. I definitely think he has a lot of potential when it comes to design. I just think art is not his strong suit. And you know, whoever, I think the majority of people who really appreciate and like a lot of subwoofers art stuff, and I don't want y'all to feel called out. I'm not trying to insult anybody, but for the most part, are people who are more new to art, or are still very much in the process of learning a lot of the basics. And it is very understandable for you to like someone who seems more advanced than you in art, and that is very valid. Obviously, it is also very normal for you to like somebody who's not as advanced as you in art. That is completely valid and completely fair too. Again, all of that is subjective and completely unreliable, so it's not really a topic that I want to discuss. But I do think that a lot of the praise that goes towards subwoofer in terms of art comes from people who they themselves aren't necessarily very knowledgeable in terms of art. Mr. Crazy Hands? No, I remember that level. I do remember that level. I wouldn't say it's a very OG level, but I do remember it. I was around when it came out. A lot of people really liked it. I don't know, I just think he has cute ideas, but that's the thing, cute ideas are different from good execution, and I think that's the part that a lot of people really grab onto, is that you can like the ideas, and that's perfectly fine. There's a lot of levels that I like conceptually, but I can still be critical about those things and be aware that these things have room to grow, and like you can still see the strong points and the weaker points of a work of art. Like, that is still something that as an artist you need to identify. You don't need to like talk about it all the time if you don't feel like it, but you need to be aware that these things exist, because not being aware that these things exist or ignoring them actively shows a lack of comprehension of art and shows a lack of understanding on some of the fundamentals of art, and it shows that you still have a lot of things that you're not understanding about art, you know? And to be fair, that is always very fair. You can also be in progress of learning these things. That is something that is completely valid. Like you all have different paths towards learning different things. Not everybody learns at the same rate, at the same speed, and in the same ways. A lot of people learn differently from another. So comparing yourself to other people is not necessarily always the best thing to do. But at the very least, yeah, it's like, for example, I think the very clear examples that I have in mind is with something like Astrolith. I think a lot of people will look at Astrolith and will look at the art in Astrolith and they will think, wow, that is really nice art. You know, not even talking about the gameplay, not even talking about the level. They will just look at the art and say, this is really nice art. And to a certain degree, there's a base level where you can look at Astrolith and just look at some of the parts and be like, yeah, this is actually really good, you know. But then, after that, if you look closely and you pay more attention, and to be fair, this is something that you learn over time with experience, you can look at some of the parts and be like, wait a second. This is nice, this is still nice, not taking any of the merit aside from it being nice. But there's things here that don't actually work. You know, there's things that are inaccurate, inconsistent, that change in terms of quality, and that have variety that shouldn't exist in this kind of setting, you know. And of course, I don't want to talk too much about other creators. Because I don't want it to seem like I'm just trying to insult people, because that is just not what I'm doing. I'm trying to give examples, and by using my levels, it's a bit more concrete. But Astrolith has parts and has sections that are very, 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 very obviously and very definitely a different quality of art than the others. And there's absolutely no shame in saying that. There are people in Astrolith who it was quite literally their first time making art like that. It was quite literally their first time doing art. And it shows. And it shows. But to a person who is not as knowledgeable in art, they won't notice it. They will just look at it and be impressed because it's a new thing and it's very much something that they themselves cannot see themselves being capable of doing. And so, and then you go and look at a level by Subpixel, which let's just go and play, let's go play Worldbox, because I like Worldbox. And you look at something like this and you're like, okay, so what is the difference? Yes, by Subpixel. You made this. Because you made a level with this song, right, Subpixel? So this is you. You made this. Outside of running with the bit. You look at this, right? And then you'll be like, okay, so it has a stylistic idea, but then it has a lot of different things that are from different assets of the game, right? There's a lot of different assets from different levels that are being recreated in a semi-consistent style in order to fit together well. And that idea is really nice. It's really good in concept. Until you realize that there's actually like some, I guess, inconsistencies when it comes to how they all get integrated together. But when you realize that, you're like, oh, but that's kind of the point of the level, to mesh things together really well, even though it's not supposed to mesh well together. You know, that's kind of like that's the point of it. So when you realize that that's the point, you're like, okay, I can start appreciating this a little bit more for what it is. Does it still make it great? Not necessarily, but you can start appreciating it more for what it is. I think this is the part that like shows it the most, you know? It's the context of this level where the credits scrolling. This is just a level that was made in order to kind of like say like thanks to like every like big person in the community and a lot of people who are like very much leading in terms of like, you know, making very influential levels, making influential lives to the community at this point.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
There you go, I died. So this is an example of a level where it works because of the idea behind it and the theming behind it. And so that's why it kind of feels okay, you know. So that's kind of the whole vibe of it. So now when you go and look at another level, when that consistency isn't there, it's like, oh wait, but this isn't doing it on purpose. This is actually just inconsistent in terms of quality. And then you're like, oh, I see, you know. Hello Maxi, how's it going? So yeah, these are kind of like the things that like you start noticing that come with a lot more time and experience in the editor, and what ends up like changing a lot of the time later on. Anyway, chat. Onto Voyager. I worked on it a tiny bit more last night. Changed the sundial a little bit because I really understood that my circles were not actually circles. Do I like a reverse smash road? Yes, I love that level. It's so good. But we can work more on Voyager. Put some music and vibe, have a good time with Voyager for a little while. And the thing is, like, here, and this is the part that I want y'all to be aware of. You can be introspective in your own things. Wait, what? Oh. You can be introspective with your own work. I am looking at Voyager as I go along, and I can definitely see that there are some issues that I'm noticing. And this is not a thing that, so as you learn as an artist, the biggest part of knowing how to improve is understanding what you did right and what you feel like you did not do as right. And understanding that is the biggest step out of that. Because I'm looking at Voyager, and there are things that I look at, and I'm like, I'm actually not super happy with how this looks. I'm actually like, you know, doubting that this is actually like a good decision. How can I do this? And me noticing that is half of the first step. The second step is me actually realizing that actually, I think the colors work really well. I think that the shader integration is actually pretty nice. I think that some of the ideas that are going on here are actually pretty nice too. And so these things that I think are working really well, and that I have seen work really well, now I can actually be like, okay, now how do I apply this to everything else? And that's where we go on from there. And so that is the second half of the first step. Once you realize those two things, that's how you can start growing as an artist and start improving. And that's the important aspect of things that you need to all remember. So for today, I think we're just gonna be copy pasting some more buildings, making some buildings. I'm gonna do a lot of copy pasting, I would assume. I'm gonna get all the buildings done till like this part. I don't know if I can do all of that today. Might be a bit more of a boring stream, and I apologize, chat. Hope you can still enjoy it, but at the very least, I want to do all the buildings today. How long is Voyager going to be? It is 1 minute and 17 seconds. The gameplay is already all been made, with the exception of... Oh, actually, no. Actually, chat, I didn't show you this, but I changed the ending of the gameplay too. I did some of it before, but I actually changed more of it. I wasn't super happy with how it was. Took the pixelate off. The pixelate was not staying something, so I was just fucking around. The pixelate was never an option. I was just fucking around to see how people would react because I thought it was really funny. You can't just add pixelate shader to anything and say that it's stylized. But you were being serious and I didn't want to say anything. No, I wasn't being serious. I was very much just jonkling a little bit. I was very much just joking. Okay, so you can't see the bottom of that, so these are unnecessary objects. Those who jonk, yes indeed. Being a bit of a silly there. We love being a little bit low silly in this house. But yeah, no, a big part of also as a creator learning is understanding what feedback is good for you and what feedback isn't actually helpful to you. Because a lot of people will give you different feedback and they'll just tell you to just take the feedback, you know? Like, you're a grown person, take the feedback, you know? Like, you need to understand how feedback works and that is how you learn, you know? But a lot of the time, a lot of feedback is actually really negative and negative is not the right word. Well, it is, but what I meant to say, a lot of feedback is just harmful to you as an artist. Sometimes a lot of people will give feedback that to them seems like it's very useful, but when you actually apply it to you, it's not very, it's not useful to you. It doesn't do anything to actually help you become a better creator. And so a big part of learning, creating, and stuff like that is understanding, and some of the feedback that people will give you sucks, and it's actually not good for you, because they will just say things that may be positive and may be negative, but that will not help you grow as an artist. And that is okay. It is okay to give feedback like that because you're not aware that this is bad feedback. Okay? Or bad feedback specifically for this person. Because people learn in different ways, chat. Not everybody learns the same exact way, and so you can't expect the same feedback to apply to everybody. Saying add more glow to something is not being helpful. However, you can say, hey, I think personally that the colors here could use a little bit more brightness. I think you could add some glow to do that, to change that, you know. It needs a little bit more contrast. It needs a little bit more saturation. And to do that, you could add a red glow here, you know. Like telling the person why you need to do something is better than telling them do this. Because telling them do this isn't actually helping them to understand what they did that you think is wrong. It's just telling them, hey, I know better than you, do this. So a lot of the time when I'm handling feedback for a lot of people, what I say is like, oh, personally speaking, I think that this actually doesn't work too well compositionally wise. I would move things around a little bit. I would change the position that you put this in. I think these colors don't work too well. I would recommend changing them. Maybe to something like this, for example. I think it could work better for the contrast or the setting or whatever. And that's like if I'm actually being asked for feedback. Because obviously if I'm not being asked for feedback, then I just do shit. It's not my place to say anything. Also, the other thing is, a lot of people ask for feedback, but they're not actually asking for feedback. They're asking for reassurance. They're asking you to tell them that what they did is good. They don't actually care what your opinion is. They just care to hear that you agree with what they're doing. And if they want that, that is okay. It is something that is okay to want. However, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can tell them, hey, I don't feel like giving you feedback right now. I'm sorry. And if they don't respect that, then they're being an asshole, and you're very much in your right to not give them your feedback. Hello, Noivert. How's it going? Welcome. Shout out to Dio. Dio's insane. Dio's really good at feedback. She's very, very good. I think going to specific people for feedback is a decent idea, but I actually wouldn't recommend that to everybody, because I think going to specific people is looking for a specific answer, which is often not what you need. You need feedback. You don't need a specific answer. You go to a specific person because you expect them to do something a specific way, and that can be harmful sometimes. Now, obviously, if that person's very good at giving feedback, and they give very, very good feedback, and that's why you're going to them for it, then obviously that can be a good thing. However, you do gotta be careful about that, because it can become a negative loop of feedback. And what I mean by that is that you just keep getting the same responses, which don't actually help you improve as an artist. You just end up looking for the same kind of responses, and you stay stuck in that cycle. And that is a very scary thought for a lot of people, and do not recommend it. Don't ask a farmer to teach you how to swim. Don't ask a swimmer to teach how to grow avocados. Hey, maybe that swimmer knows how to grow avocados, though. Maybe that swimmer's good at growing avocados. Maybe their avocados are so good. Best avocados in the West. No, that's way smaller than that. It's a 7 block gap? No, that's a 6 block gap. Is 6 blocks? Didn't? This could be 6 blocks. I don't think it is though. I think it's 7. It is 8. Never mind. I don't know how to count. But I can definitely work around with this one. You don't like avocado? Oh, that's a shame. Also, chat, the one thing that some of you might have noticed is that I do not have donations activated, and that's what I was talking about earlier, is that I completely forgot that there's a deadline for you to submit your paperwork for YouTube in order to get your stuff monetized, and I didn't do that, and so I need to go do that as soon as 3 months. I need to go do that as soon as 3 months. That is my next tasks in the list of tasks to do. Yeah, Maxie doesn't like potatoes. He's weird for that. I've told him that before. He's weird for that. Potatoes are awesome, and you should love potatoes. We love potatoes in this house, so... I didn't know you had to apply for monetization till they gave it to you. Basically what happens is that once you reach a certain amount of subscribers, a certain amount of views, a certain amount of like different things, that you can enable monetization. And for a month and a half, you have to submit your payment info. And I was having talks with my bank because I hadn't received my new credit card and stuff like that, and so I was having talks with my bank, and because of the postal service and where I live being a mess, it didn't get here until like literally a couple days ago, and so I couldn't submit my information to YouTube in the time because I just didn't have the information. And so now that I do have to do that, and I just completely forgot, and so right now I'm currently not monetized, at least for this stream, which is why this stream is going to be a little bit shorter. And so I am dipping after this and going to focus on that, because that is definitely a big concern for me. Am I from Toronto? No, I'm not from Toronto. I've been to Toronto before though. Cool place. Have some family there. Haven't visited them in years at this point. Well, actually, no, I don't have family in Toronto. I have family near Toronto, but... Hurry up and go get that check? Hell yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Any of the money that I've been basically been donated or I've gotten from monetization so far, I actually haven't received any of it because I have not had the opportunity to put all of the details and stuff. And so because of that, I technically have essentially made no money over the past like 2 months since or a month and a half since I've been monetized. Due to those issues. They're not entirely fun, not something that I really, enjoy thinking about, but I do need to do that like actually today. So I can't delay this any longer. Yeah, so if you're asking yourself why is the stream ending in like 7 minutes, that is why. But we might do another stream later tonight. I want to figure some stuff out, but maybe later tonight we'll do a stream. Who knows? I speak Spanish? Yes, I do speak Spanish. You're monetized? I've been monetized for like the past month. It's just that, again, like I said, currently I can't do anything about it because of the stuff that I just told you all about. And so because of that, yeah. So next stream, if anybody wants to donate, they are very much appreciated, and of course not mandatory at all. I did want to do the thing like the Zero did, is that if you donate like $5, you can get your name added to the list of special thanks in the level. I did want to do that because I think that's a really cute little thing to do to get the community to be more engaged, of course, and I think that's neat. Tres tristes tigres tragan trigo en un trigal. I had to learn that one very, very young, so it's not too bad. But there's a longer one. It is tres tristes tigres tragan trigo en un trigal. But there's a different one. There's a very, really long, like there's a longer one. Tanto trigo tragan que los tres trigos dragones con el trigo se atragantan. That's the one that I learned. And then the other one that I learned. En tres tristes trastos, en tres tristes trastos tragaban tigres, tres tristes tigres. Yeah, it's very funny. Hello, Gavin. Welcome back. unfortunately, stream will literally be ending very, very soon. I am hitting the 2-hour mark and ending stream. Because I really do need to go do that and get that sorted out. Because I don't know how long that'll take. That'll take me like either 10 minutes or 5 hours, and I don't want to take the chance of wasting my day away. So look forward to a second stream later today, this chat. Because I definitely am not happy with just making such a short stream, but I do gotta figure that out then. Bilingual, Leah? No, chat. I'm not bilingual. I also speak French. Not by choice, though. Not by choice. No need to flex? No, we're flexing today. We're flexing today. Okay. As much as I think this button is really cool for screenshots, I fucking hate it because it's right next to the trash. And I misclick it every time. It is a useful button, just annoying. Oui, Maxi, on avait déjà parlé en français auparavant. On avait déjà eu des conversations en français. Ça fait longtemps par contre. C'est, you know. Baguette indeed. But yes. Dislike? That's crazy! That's crazy. But yeah, chat, look forward to another stream later today, okay? I don't understand French though. Dude, I spoke French and we lost 5 people. That's crazy. Can't believe it. We lost 6 people! That's crazy. People really hate the French. The French hatred is spreading. Okay, good. I don't see anything below that. Okay. In that case, let's make this last platform. Copy. Well, honestly, there's no spikes in there, so let's just quickly copy paste this. And then put it here. Obviously these spikes don't kill you. These spikes are just there for they're posers actually. There's no hitboxes. I just go and add my own hitboxes later. Cause that allows me to be more flexible with decoration. I know it wastes objects technically speaking, but trying to learn Japanese, it's in struggle. I genuinely, yeah. I've also been trying to learn Japanese for the past couple of years. My Japanese is very bad. I'm okay at reading it, but when it comes to actually speaking it, it's impossible. Okay, chat. I'm gonna leave stream here. Shorter stream, focused a lot on gauntlets. But we're just gonna end it really quickly, so I can go and do the stuff that I need to do when it comes to YouTube. I will add indicators to this part later, because I know that this jump right here is not very clear that you have to jump right there, and I don't really know what to change in terms of the composition to make it more like, I feel like this jump right here is very oddly composed, and I've got to work on it a little more. But I like the way that it flows, so that's, you know. Okay, everybody. I hope you all have a great rest of your days, and I'll probably see y'all later tonight. I'll do another ping if I do stream. So for those who haven't already, go in into the Discord so you can get notifications, or you can activate the bell and subscribe to the channel. I very much appreciate it. And I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye!